Ed, are you worried at all about squad unity, bearing in mind some of the comments we've seen in recent days in the selection of Jofra Archer?
No, I think if you read those comments really carefully, I think you're referring to Chris Woakes' comments yesterday and Mark Wood's piece a couple of days ago. If you read the whole piece, George, I think you'll see that Chris Woakes specified he was not concerned about team unity with Jofra Archer potentially coming into the squad. Jofra Archer is a very exciting and talented player. This is the first time he's been eligible for England, and we've taken the opportunity to pick him in the first cricket we could, which is the Ireland 50-over game, the Pakistan T20, and then obviously as part of the 17-man squad in the bilateral series against Pakistan. So Jofra Archer is a very exciting cricketer. There was a broad desire from all the decision makers and the selection panel to give him the opportunity to play for England before the World Cup and before we make the final decision in just over a month.
Amid all the noise around Jofra, Joe Denley's slipped back into the squad. He hasn't played an ODI for a decade or so. What are his attributes?
Well, he hasn't slipped back into the squad. He was in the squad and he stayed in the squad. Joe Denley's a very unusual cricketer in that he's a top-order batter and he's also one of England's leading spin bowlers who's been having real success in franchise cricket over the last couple of years. So, in terms of the makeup of a 15-man squad, he brings different skills that other people don't, which is that he covers batting slots, and he also covers the need if one came up for a spinning slot. So he is a very good cricketer. He's played some very good cricket for Kent and also around the world in the past few years. And he was in the 15 and he stays in the 15, and he'll also get opportunities to play in those white ball games before the final decision is made in just over a month.
England have had quite a stable side for the last couple of years, obviously done tremendously well. Are you concerned at all that there's injecting a note of instability into the squad right before this tournament which you've been building for years?
I think you used the perfect phrase there. Quite a stable side that has continued to grow and evolve. Some of the people we've talked about, Joe Denley's come in, some other people have come in as well. Chris Jordan comes back into the 17 now after his strong performances not only for Sussex but also in T20 cricket for England recently, obviously notably in the West Indies where he was outstanding. I believe that a strong team culture enables that gradual evolution of the side. So it's just a small change here and there that can actually lead the squad to be stronger when it matters. And obviously everything we're doing now is geared towards England having the best squad available to them in the World Cup. There's another thing I'd bring up actually, which is that although obviously there's a clear desire to give Jofra Archer opportunity and Chris Jordan opportunity in this spell of bilateral cricket before the World Cup, also there's a widespread awareness that this is a very busy summer. We have some multi-format players, we have some players coming back from injury, and there's a desire to manage their workload through rest and recovery. So there's two things. First of all, the desire to look at wider players, and secondly, resting and rotating players too.
Ed, in terms of finding his feet in the squad, Jofra, how fortunate is it from an England point of view that he's currently playing with Joss and Ben, who are two of the biggest sort of characters around the dressing room? It's an easy in a way, isn't it?
Well, it's not a factor in selection, but it's just a happy accident, yes. So obviously two of England's senior players, Joss Buttler, vice-captain, and also Ben Stokes are all-rounder, so they will have been around Jofra and will have played with him, they'll know him. So that's only a good thing. Also, Chris Jordan is a good friend and colleague of Jofra's at Sussex, and now obviously in the one-day squad. So yes, we have a good amount of knowledge about Jofra, not only through our eyes, but also through people who have played with and against him. Someone like Owen Morgan has played a lot against Jofra as well. So all that evidence comes together and you make your decision, and the decision is the selection panel would like to give opportunity to Jofra Archer in the run-up to the World Cup.
And as a selector, would you anticipate that your decision in a month's time might be harder than the one you've made this week in a way?
I never speculate about easy and hard. I just try and make what we as a selection panel try to do is just look at the decision in front of us, give it a real intense degree of scrutiny and rigour, make the best decision we can for England cricket, and then move to the next decision. So we'll come to the next one in a month.
Ed, given it was only then that we were talking about the potential inclusion of one player, a new player, and Jofra into the squad, were you surprised by the reaction of some of the senior players to that? I mean, if England's team spirit is going to be, potentially that much affected by one player, then one new player, then what does that say?
Well, the comments I've read, so for example, I've just covered that. I think that if you're talking about Chris Woakes' comments yesterday, Chris Woakes is an outstanding man, and he answered the question, I think, instinctively. And he said specifically he did not think that the inclusion of Jofra Archer would disrupt the England squad. That's also the view of the coach Trevor Bayliss. It's also the view of the captain Owen Morgan. So to be honest with you, I think people have given full answers. Taken out of context, yes, you could always make this case or that case. But again, if you look at the interview that Mark Wood gave, another very good man, very loyal to his friends in the team, and he basically said, I really respect and admire this teammate, that teammate, this teammate, that teammate, and it'd be tough on any of them to miss out. You would want a player to be loyal to their friends and colleagues, people they've been in the trenches with. So I have nothing against what they've said whatsoever, and I have a very high degree of confidence that Owen Morgan and Trevor Bayliss have a good handle on team culture, and they completely endorse this decision.
Do you think England are under pressure being world number one?
Well, what can you do about pressure? You couldn't exactly deliberately try and play badly. You try and play well in cricket matches, and if you play well over a consistent period of time, with that comes expectation and potentially the tag of being favourites. That's nothing new. I think England have got their head around it. It's a World Cup. I think the general feeling in the England side is just excitement. They're looking forward to the tournament beginning.
Just in your view, looking beyond, obviously Owen Morgan could potentially retire after the World Cup. Do you think Steve Harmer suggested he could be a potential coaching material? Do you think he's fit for the role? Would he make a great coach?
To be honest with you, at the moment, I'm just enjoying working with Owen Morgan, the captain. He's an outstanding guy. He's done a great job as captain of the white ball teams, and obviously that's our focus at the moment. Beyond that, I wouldn't make any speculation. Owen Morgan is a very impressive leader.